Before we wrap up Reg 1, let me tell you how important it is for you to file your Form 1040 on time. How important it is for you to pay your federal income taxes on time. Because if you don't, Uncle Sam will impose penalties on you. So let's talk about penalties for late filing. So if you file late, you're going to have late filing penalties at 5% of your net tax liability per month. If you pay late, you're going to have late payment penalties at 0.5% per month. Now, your filing deadline is 15th April. So, your calendar year taxpayer, you're going to file by 15th April of next year. Now, for filing, we discussed you could take a 6-month extension. So, though your original deadline is going to be 15th April, you could extend it. You could take an extension until 15th October. But you do not get a similar extension for payment of taxes. For payment, your deadline remains at 15th April. Now, if you have not filed on time, you have not paid on time, and both these penalties apply to you, ideally it should have been 5.5% per month. But Uncle Sam says pay 5%. Now, let's talk about tax withholdings. So, if you're working for an employer, the employer every month from your paycheck will withhold taxes remit to Uncle Sam. If you're an independent contractor, your client would again withhold taxes from your payments and pay to Uncle Sam. So all these tax withholdings, we spoke about that when you did ASDS, foreign business winners. W was withheld taxes. But let's say if the tax withholdings haven't been enough, let's say you're running your own business, in that case you are responsible for making estimated tax payments to Uncle Sam. To make tax payments, the estimated tax payments in the 4th month, in the 6th month, 9th month of the tax year. You have to wrap it up by 15th January. Your amount of estimated tax payments should cover 90% of your current year tax liability, or at least 100% of last year's liability if that's lesser. Now, let's say you haven't been accurate with your tax returns. You've disregarded Uncle Sam's rules and regulations. Uncle Sam will impose accuracy related penalties on you. Finally, let me talk about IRS's statute of limitations. Here the question is, how long does the IRS, how long does Uncle Sam have to come back for you if you haven't done a good job with your tax returns? Let's say you've done an error or a simple negligence. That gives Uncle Sam 3 years to come back for you. If there's a gross negligence, IRS, Uncle Sam has 6 years to come back to you. But if you've done a fraud or you failed to file your 1040, the timeline for the IRS, the timeline for Uncle Sam to come back to you to collect the dues is unlimited. They can come back anytime throughout your lifetime.
We are on a roll out here. Now we get to page 99 where we've got estimated tax penalty. You have a small screenshot from your form 1040 and look at line number 23 on the screenshot. Highlight estimated tax penalty. Now, there's some estimated tax payments due to Uncle Sam, and there is highlight penalty for failure to make estimated tax payments. The penalty applies only if highlight the balance due on April 15th, the tax return due date is greater than $1,000. Also, there is put a box around no penalty if withheld tax plus estimated payments made by the taxpayer are equal to at least the lesser of underline 90% of the current year tax liability or underline 100% of prior year tax liability. Now, you got to use underline 110% of prior tax liability, underline if prior year AGI is greater than $150,000. So basically, you're making sure that the payments made to Uncle Sam via withheld taxes and estimated taxes is at least equal to the lesser of 90% of the current year tax liability or 100% of the last year's tax liability. Now, there may be penalties imposed for failure to file, that's late filing, or failure to pay, late payment. Underline underpayment penalties limited to 25% of net tax liability. Now, underpayment penalties, as I said, could include highlight late filing penalty, which could be highlight at 5% per month of net tax liability. Underline if both late filing and late payment penalty apply, underline maximum penalty is 5% per month. But if there's only highlight late payment penalty, it's highlight at 0.5% per month of the net tax liability. There could be highlight additional accuracy related penalty of 20% of underpayment if tax underpayment is due to negligence or disregard of rules and regulations. Now, the last bullet talks about tax procedures, examinations, which could result in tax underpayment. We will cover all of these in Reg 5. And that is all we have for Reg 1.